We are going to the Ashanti region. There is a school called Onwe, yes, in the Ashanti region. Let's bring you what is happening in that school, and we'll certainly talk to the authorities that be.
Despite being under government administration for several years, Onwe Senior High School continues to face critical deficits in educational infrastructure. A construction project meant to ease classroom congestion has stalled and is visibly deteriorating, with erosion already damaging sections of the building. During a visit by ChannelOne News, students were observed sharing dual desks and crammed into divided classrooms, while some were studying in open spaces, conditions that significantly undermine the quality of education and student comfort. Although portions of the school infrastructure remain in a relatively good shape, the overall environment falls short of providing a conducive setting for academic success. The Assembly member for the Onwe electoral area, Kobna Boaten, expressed concern over the state of the school, emphasizing the urgency of government intervention.
Onwe senior high, you were challenged about structures, I'm saying that school dying on our order that fancy JSS and na nominee crew man on Yina Cabo, we say, Pessia, the SS Empire area, buying a show.
He described the situation as a major impediment to effective learning and called on authorities to take immediate action to address the issue.
Buying the show, Uko school is here, a buying the show, now try Senka, obesi, structure BIS, Palanbe school, where the my contract. Or shall say 6 months to be to marry, and we say we in the class, I will read in community BI day, a dear goom. Na who contract and no man is seen quite. Who be a contractor, a fire beam. And tis a man ya coming here to see a minoka, so quite classroom back with Fan Palabro Bay 50. Nicholas and Cabin Swank reading, Cabassa, and Palan Watcher or more, Ubercoan and Colan be war, be a bon train or motate or Asian day. And yesterday, a bamboo penny for Momo can be a womb.
So there you have it. Onwe Senior High School in the Ashanti region, they have infrastructure deficit and also furniture. Imagine staying in this school for the 3-year period, and you have to face a paper. That is, you are writing your WASI with schools like Sweater School of Business or Swesco or Holy Child or Wegehe, Infansipim, Infansiman, and all those things. And you didn't get the best of infrastructure to ensure that you are going, learning and teaching is going to go on well. But let's speak to the Member of Parliament for Ejusu, where Onwe is, and that is Kwabena Boaten. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
I trust you are doing well.
I'm doing very well.
Has the situation in Onwe Senior High School come to your attention?
Yes. I have followed the story. In fact, quite before the story was done, I had some engagements with the Education Directorate on one of my visits, and they made me understand that one of the challenges they have across some of the schools in the municipality has to do with inadequate furniture. So it's a matter that has come to my knowledge.
So with this information you have picked as the Member of Parliament for the area, what has been the action you've tried putting in place to get a remedy for the problem?
Okay. So yesterday when your producer got to me, I sent some videos and pictures. And I demanded that those videos should form part of the interview and the show. I don't know if they have brought it to your attention. If not, I would demand that it be put on air. Because less than a month ago.
Yeah, so it's on air. It's on screen as we speak now.
Okay, okay. So that is less than a month ago. I provided almost 600 decks to schools in the municipality. But my constituency is very big. It's one of the biggest constituency in Ghana. So in as much as you are putting a lot more is needed. You will also understand that just about 5 months into the tenure as members of parliament, we have not even received any statutory by way of common fund or anything. We haven't received anything. But you cannot also say that you will not move into action when the situation demands so. So you will see that what I've been doing since the start of the tenure is from personal sources to be able to hold up the situation until the government comes in or we are able to do something very substantive. So you see that about 550 decks will not be enough for all the schools in my constituency. Prior to the elections, I did about 2 different donations also to the directorate. What I do is that I take the decks to the directorate, the education directorate, and then they have a list of very pressing needs or schools that are on top of the priority list when it comes to the furniture. So they will determine the quantum and how the whole sharing should go. So that is what I have been doing ever since I became a member of parliament. Maybe a little background. I came into parliament barely 4 months before the end of the tenure. I was sworn in around June, I should think so. So about 4 or 5 months I did in the last parliament. And the pictures and some of the videos I sent to your outfit will also show that even before the elections had done quite a number of donations to Church of Christ Secondary School, also known as CHRISEC, which is within my constituency. A couple were also sent to Joso Sectech, and I also made quite a number of donations, generally to the directorate for them to determine how the sharings will. So this has been my interventions since I became a member of parliament less than a year in terms of or relative to furniture.
All right, but apart from furniture, the reports have also shown that there are actually stalled and abandoned projects. I mean, why are these projects not completed? And also, if you can also tell us, would there be any, action in completing it?
Yes, in fact, what I intend to do is to, first of all, channel these to the appropriate developmental authority. The MPs do not have budget for big projects like that.
Right.
Buildings, big buildings going on in schools. We don't have that budget. It is the government of the day. And sometimes through the assemblies who are in charge of these projects. Some of them are also get fund projects.
Right.
Yes, which are stalled. What I have been doing is to, we passed the appropriation for government not so long ago. That was immediately before we came on break. Yeah, so I intend to follow up now that appropriation has been done, and the expectation is that monies have gone to all governmental agencies, and everybody's now kicking into motion. Priority programs will be listed down. So I will follow up and make sure that projects that will receive some immediate attention will include some of these projects also in my constituency.
Aside the Onwe Senior High School that has challenges, you said that other senior high schools in your constituency are also bearing the brunt. Would you want to share with us these schools and what actions you are taking as the Member of Parliament to champion the cause that it gets the best for learning and teaching to go on?
Yes, so I have a couple of secondary schools. I have a Josomai Senior High, I have Church of Christ, I have Bunri, and some technical schools as well, Kwamo Technical, Dakujachi Technical, quite a number of them. Achena Secondary School, a number of them. So what I have done, as I earlier indicated, I may not know the level of, scarcity. These are within the remit of the educational directory. So sometimes, to be on the safer side, you rely on those who have the hands-on, work, those who know what is actually going on at the schools. Because the schools, when they write for request, they will do so to the educational directorate. And so we supply them. Then they will also, in turn, supply to the schools. This is what has been done. But I can promise you, especially in respect of Onwe Senior High, in my own small way, I have made some arrangements for quite a number to be supplied. Not so much at the moment. But I'm praying to God that as and when I'm blessed with resources, furniture is one issue that I wish will not be a problem in my constituency from my own level. But the core is also to government, who has the budget, who is in charge of education, who holds all the taxes, who can solve the problem at a go. The core is for the government to also, step in and in times like this, be able to come to the aid of the schools. I know presently, as we speak, we don't have an MCE in the municipality. We are hoping to get one very soon, maybe. I'm sure that when we finally also have one, the first thing I will do is to request for a meeting for some of these issues to also be looked at. So there's a challenge, and we need help, and we need the help from the government. The Member of Parliament is doing his own bit, but how much is his salary? How much budget has he got? As I speak to you, we haven't received any common fund yet.
But Honorable, you are a lawmaker and also you're supposed to be a lobbyist, and I'm sure that with this thing you are carrying, you certainly will be able to lobby and get maybe private organizations or benevolent individuals to support or to revive the education sector in your constituency. Maybe the government can't do all. Is there any move like that to venture into that area and get the private private sector to move in?
We try, but it's not a very smooth road. It's not a very smooth road. Once a while, maybe some organizations may want to. Well, I haven't seen it since I assumed the MPship. Whatever has been done, maybe from personal, resources. But yes, the first line of call is the government, and it has to do with education, something as basic as
Right.
you know how we all prioritize education, and something as basic as furniture. The first line to call would be the government to step in and be able to do something. But quite apart from that, we will also look at other sources and see the help that can come through.
Right, Honorable. So before we let you go, what message would you like to give to the stakeholders of this school, especially when it, students, parents, teachers? What would you like to tell them?
Yes. So it's important that at this stage we all come together. We have a common interest, which is that we know and we all appreciate the importance of education and the need to make sure that we don't just give education, but we give quality education. And, if the child has no proper seating, then you can't even talk about anything. And that is why I prioritized it and, have been donating decks. As I said, I did, less than a month ago. It will not stop there. Let us still keep the interest of our children in, in education. Sometimes when they are not so comfortable, they may not want to even come to school and all that. This is where we have to come in and encourage them, let them keep the hope. Whilst help is on the way, I know surely we will get there. And like I said, I have also placed some demands elsewhere for some chairs to be made, about 150 for a start. Another batch may also come later on, maybe in the next week. But as I speak, I'm expecting about 150 to be supplied maybe tomorrow. So they are not alone. It's just that when we are putting in a lot, there's still a lot that needs to be done.
Okay.
And we will do it to secure the future of our children and nephews and nieces.
Before you go, want to touch a bit on some of the sectors, other areas in your constituency. Do you have issues with roads? Do you have issues with health sectors and all that? Now that we have you and you're talking to the authorities, what will be your comment on these things?
Of course, I have issues with roads. As I speak to you, the SWA MPP government started construction of the Ejoso Sektek road all the way to Onwe and Sinimpon Kwaso road. We couldn't finish. It couldn't be asphalted before we left office, and the road is currently in a terrible state. Terrible. There were a couple of bridges to be constructed, about 3 of them along that road, which I guess took all the time. And when the bridges were constructed, it was almost elections, and the roads could not be asphalted. The expectation and the plea is that the incumbent government will give attention to it and also continue from where the predecessor left off. I have problem also from Fumesa to Echem Kokobra road at Chiafe. It's terrible. It's terrible. The SWA government did to a stage, but couldn't also be asphalted. But with the lapse of time, all the drainages are, getting one problem or the other. When you don't finish the work and you leave it like that, there are breakages and erosions and, almost look like the whole thing has taken a turn around to the back. The plea is also that if we can look at that one also and put it in a good state. Asamai Road is lying there. The people of Asamai are waiting. And a couple of inner roads that have also stalled. But the most important one, the most pressing ones will be the Achiasi Road and then the Ejuso Onwe Kwaso Road and also the Asamai and maybe the Siase Jamasi Road. These are roads that are, currently hanging that will need government intervention. Relative to health,
just brief one on that one for us.
Yes, I have resumed the construction of the children's block at the Ejuso Government Hospital. This is a 3-story building which was started by my predecessor, Honorable Engineer Kwabena Owusu Edume. He started it, he put up the structure, but he couldn't complete it. It's remained like that since he left office. I will tell you that presently as we speak, when children are sick, they share wards with adults, which is a terrible situation. So you may have a child going to the hospital and coming home with, another degree of infection altogether. So it's been a terrible situation. So when I became a member of parliament, I resolved that by whatever means that I will complete the children's block, I will have to do it so that our younger ones can also be taken care of. This is a building that should house even the theater, the surgical theater for children. How we should do, matters that concern children separately from adults. So as we speak, we are on it. Workers are there. They are building. I wish to complete it, and every fund that comes to my hand by way of common fund and from personal sources, I will have gratification, divine gratification, if I'm able to finish it within time. The last one will be Fumesa. As I speak to you, I have a situation at Fumesa. It's almost like men and women are sharing the same ward in Fumesa right now. That's how terrible the situation is. So I'm currently constructing a different ward so that we can, have the separation, at least for purposes of decency. We can have the separation and quality healthcare. So a lot is also going on from that front.
Grateful, Kwabena Boateng. We are most grateful for joining us on Breakfast Daily, and we wish you well in your quest to get your constituents the best. That is MP for Ejusu, Kwabena Boateng, sharing with us the challenges in his constituency. We started from education, but we ended in health, and it tells you that a number of issues are in his constituency. He's asking, 1, the government to come to his aid; 2, benevolent individuals and organizations to also come to his aid. And this is what we do here. We tell the story to empower the change that is needed. So if you are watching, certainly you'd want to contribute your quota. So please make sure that you join hands and support whichever institution you're going to support. And we will just make sure that we are going to make our country the best for all of us.
Right.